Crowned a champion here in Vegas, but that doesn't mean we don't have outstanding basketball still to be played, and that continues right here in Cox Pavilion. Hello and welcome, Noah Eagle, Jim Jackson, Ashley Shamady here with you. Glad you could join us as well. So we've got an Oklahoma City team and a New Orleans team, both with a youth experience combination now, because Oklahoma City's been building this youth core over the last couple of years. They got guys in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Lou Dort who have proven themselves at the NBA level, but they got the number 2 overall pick this year as well, Chet Holmgren, who in his summer league experience, both in Salt Lake City and then here in Vegas, really showed out.
Well, the experiment for OKC was to get young and to develop youth. They've done that. Chet Holmgren is going to be the centerpiece in regards to where they go in the next level. Josh Giddey is also involved in that. But the ability for Chet to not only stretch the defense, block shots, influence shots, initiate offense, bring the opposing big out of the paint, opens up opportunities. Again, a lot to learn. Body has to get stronger. But you see the plan in place for OKC and where they want to go in the future.
Oklahoma City has not just Chet, but as you mentioned, a wealth of this young, experienced combination. Well, New Orleans can be said the same thing. Obviously, Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum driving the ship. Zion Williamson being healthy will be huge. But Trey Murphy taking a step from year 1 to year 2 as a first-round pick last year with playoff experience now is going to be crucial.
And that's the key, because he was able to operate at a high level when it counted the most. Okay, Trey Murphy wasn't counted on early on to be an integral part of the team, but he hit some huge three-point shots last year in the playoffs. And why? Because he had confidence, but he was able to grow through the course of the year where a lot of pressure wasn't placed upon him to have some kind of impact early. So he was able to mature his game a lot slower, but at the right time he's able to play great upside for Trey Murphy III.
Holmgren and Murphy, just 2 players that we will not see today. For more on that, we go to Ashley Shamady.
Yes, I think it's easier, guys, to talk about who we're not going to be seeing playing today, because for the Pelicans, man, it has been an unfortunate couple of days here in Vegas. Unfortunately, for the last couple ones, some current and former draft picks all got injured in those days. You have E.J. Liddell with a torn ACL. That was tough to watch. You have Dyson Daniels. He's out with a sprained ankle. Carlo Makovich, 5 stitches in his right hand. He got it hanging on the rim there. Jared Harper, quad injury. Then you can also add Jose Alvarado, Najee Marshall, Trey Murphy III, Daquan Plowden. Those guys you will all not be seeing today. The last game for New Orleans, they only had 9 available players, just 2 of them ever having played in an NBA game. Today, they just have 8 available. So we are chalking up today's game all about opportunity for the guys that we're going to see on the floor. Noah?
Yep. Only one of those 8 has NBA experience. That is Devidas Servidis, who played 23 games with Detroit over 2 years, looking to make a roster in his 3rd season. All set between the Pelicans and the Thunder. Stewart, Butler, Jones, Petty, and Sebron, the starters for New Orleans. Krejci, Brown, Williams, Shackelford, and Gaddy, the 5 for Oklahoma City. 2 organizations that feel like they have really found some of their core pieces moving forward, and now we're looking to fill in some of the rest of the cracks moving forward.
Well, it takes time. One is more advanced, me in New Orleans, in regards to really ready to compete, hopefully for a title. One in OKC, preparing for a 5-10 year run, which you want to be in place as an organization to be competitive each year and ultimately compete for a championship.
Gaddy with the steal for Oklahoma City. The quick trigger on the wing is off the mark from Gabe Brown. It's an interesting wrinkle in this game as well. You've got John Petty Jr. on one end for New Orleans, who is a 4-year standout at Alabama. You've got Jaden Shackelford, who played 3 years at Alabama on the other side for Oklahoma City. So a little college back and forth between the two, which I'm sure is always special.
It's always special. Now, Tariq Jones, who just scored that basket, was also a teammate of Najee Marshall at Xavier. So kind of a reuniting, so to speak, of 2 guys. But it's always good to see young talent. A lot of commonalities here.
Gaddy with a response. Splash time.
Yeah, played overseas, in Greece, Israel. Played OKC in the G League a little bit, got a chance, a little bit older, veteran.
Yeah, he's 30, but I do like that, seeing someone who is not going to give up, has had a taste of what it's like in the NBA life, as Darion Sebron answers back with a triple himself. At 30, I'm sure he can share his experience with a lot of these young guys on his roster here at Summer League and still, at the same time, compete for a roster spot in the NBA.
No, it is. I mean, you don't give up on the dream, but at some point you got to figure out what you want to do in regards to your life, whether basketball at this level, at this time is where you want to be. But you have to be comfortable and content when you make that decision. A great defense.
That's Vit Krejci, who spent much of last year with the Oklahoma City Thunder, into transition. And a great defensive play back the other way as Shackelford couldn't get it to go. Butler. Pull up, pop, bucket.
Like it.
So quicker start to this game than our first 3 of 4 New Orleans has started this game. As John Butler, the Florida State product, went undrafted this year. Young, just 19 years old, trying to show off what he can do.
Well, listen, that was 7-1.
Yeah.
With in transition trailer, 2 dribble pull up at 15 feet.
That's not easy.
Okay, no. At 7-1. Oh, Tariq.
Burst of speed, the touch, then the hoop and harm.
Again, I got a steady diet of watching Tariq play at Xavier. You know, sometimes undersized as a center, but highly athletic. You know, sometimes you got to be savvy inside to be able to get your shots off of you know, against some taller opponents. Powerful jumper.
Played in Italy last year where he averaged nearly a double-double, 13.5 points, 9.6 rebounds per game. And New Orleans with a roaring start to this ball game. Step back long, 2 ball goes down. That's a tough delivery for Gabe Brown.
All right, Sparty, I see you. Gabe had a really good career at Michigan State and the tutelage of Tom Izzo.
Drive and kick, open look. Elijah Stewart off the mark. Here comes Shackelford the other way. The reload, Shackelford will get the screen from Williams. Pocket pass inside, and a foul is going to be called. Jalen Williams, the 2nd-round pick, not to be confused with Jalen Williams, the 1st-round pick for Oklahoma City. I really think that Sam Presti just said, you know what? I want to make it as hard as possible on every broadcaster around the NBA. Let me just draft the same guy with the same name.
See, I think you're putting too much into it. I think he said, this guy's talented. We need to have him on the roster. How about that?
Yeah, I'm going to agree to a disagree. I don't know. I feel like there's some ulterior motives there. Either way, Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara won't be playing today, but he has shown just as talented as he is and why he can be a huge impact guy for this Oklahoma City team right now as a rookie.
Yeah, it caught some people by surprise that he went that early, but those around the basketball circles knew that the likelihood of him being in the top 15 was going to be there. It was a matter of the first half and where they fell would affect where he went, and ultimately he's, you know, with the Pelicans.
Gaddy with a dangerous pass picked off by Petty. Into transition. Sebron, that's a tough delivery as well. Let's see what Jalen Williams can do on the break. Finds Brown trailing the play. That's beautifully done.
I said Pelicans, I meant OKC. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize, man.
Just, you know, let's correct my mistakes, brother.
Again, you see, this is why I like you, though. You're a truthful guy. Yeah. You're up front.
Up front, brother.
Again, me, I would just been like, nah, you heard it wrong. You heard it wrong.
Exactly.
Gaddy gets rid of it and foul away from the play as the catch was made by Shackelford. Back and forth we go. Pelicans up by 3 early going here in Cox Pavilion. Or 2 of 3 from downtown and lead the Oklahoma City Thunder 12-9 in the final game for Summer League for these two. And these two in particular, Jalen Williams have enjoyed some massive moments throughout their time here in Las Vegas. I love this in terms of the Spider-Man meme recreation. Shout out to Ashley for bringing it to our attention as well. That's awesome stuff. Great work by the OKC social team as well.
And Spidey, my little one, Xavier, 4 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Spider-Man. He calls me Captain America.
You're Captain America?
I'm Captain. I had no choice.
I was about to say.
Hey.
No, I respect it, though.
That's what he said,
Captain America always tells the truth, so you're on the right path.
Nice boom.
And a great finish as well. That is Devidas Servidis. Out of Lithuania, only 22 years old. All right, so if you're Captain America, little man is Spider-Man.
Yep.
Spidey senses are tingling.
Right.
What do we have as me and Ashley? And what's Dave Freed? That's the other player.
Oh, Dave Freed. Oh, Ashley is Wonder Woman.
Okay. Oh, she's all in on that, too. Dave Freed, I hear, is Doctor Strange. Oh, he said, I think, not even offended, but still just coming to terms with that.
Now, you're not going to like you're the Green Goblin.
What? What? Just, all right, you know what? Actually, I'll take that. You want to know why? Willem Dafoe is an incredible actor, so I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
The performance is next level.
Yeah. Now, we didn't went off the rails, too. We just have good characters. I love it.
Oh,
now,
man.
when you have a young one, you get re-engaged with
yeah.
all the
You're into the Marvel
and
stuff.
Everything. Well, no. Not only that, PJ Masks.
Okay.
Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig. Coco Melon.
Bruno. It's a whole bunch of stuff, bro.
Oh, you're speaking a different language.
Oh, no, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
My young kid game is amazing. Cartoons and everything.
No, I respect it, though. I respect it majorly. 17-9 now, New Orleans, as Sebron has come out firing from downtown. Shackelford with a nice dish inside, but Williams couldn't finish.
Now, Jaden is part of our all-lettuce team.
You think that he's in there?
He bouncing.
It is bouncing. Let's take another look. But which one?
Both.
They're both in it.
Well,
I know.
We got to give some love to one that's on the court right now.
All right.
Yeah.
That is Jalen Williams from Arkansas.
We give him the love.
The 20-year-old Jalen Williams. The other one is 21 years old. I know that at some point, I think Ashley has a story on how we can differentiate, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, if you're the coach, that's not easy at all. Also, I like the style from Jalen on the right. All right, Ashley, I need it. I need it because this is already hard enough for me trying to figure out who's who. So tell me, how can I differentiate between the two?
No, I got you because I
know
know
you
it
do.
is a play-by-play nightmare. Just to, hard, tough names. My last name is Shamadi. I mean, I think it rolls off the tongue, but I know it's hard for some. So for Jalen and Jalen Williams, Jaylin, he would like to be called J-Will.
J-Will.
And you can spell it Jay-Will. So maybe that helps with the Y's. And then Jalen Williams, the other one, J-Dub. He'll
Okay.
be called J-Dub.
Okay.
So I hope it sticks for both of them. I hope it sticks for all of our sakes. And we'll go with that.
Yeah, I like that. Keep it nice, short, and sweet. And you've got the differentiator between the two. So this right here, that would be J-Will. The other one is J-Dub. But how do you decide who's who? Do you think that had to be day one, right, where they said, hey, you're going to be J-Will, you're going to be J-Dub, and right now Shackelford and the Oklahoma City Thunder trying to shoot themselves back into this game? I don't know. It'd be like if I just said, hey, you're Jim Jacks.
No, but you know what? They probably had the nicknames before anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Probably somebody.
How many people call you
J-Dub.
JJ?
Yeah, exactly. So it was just they didn't have to use it probably as much because it wasn't a similar or same kind of name. But in this situation, it works out perfect. Nicknames. We always got nicknames. Bro.
Oh, everybody's
Always,
got a
baby.
nickname. It continues tonight on ESPN2. Wizards and Warriors at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, also available on the ESPN app. So it's been New Orleans who has come out and just been on fire, especially from downtown. 3 of 4, 7 of 17 overall. And now 2 more on the board, courtesy of at the free throw line.
Well, you can tell New Orleans connected. 7 made field goals off of 4 assists. I mean, the ball is hopping around. Not a lot of one-on-one. See a 2-3 zone right here against OKC. Good recognition that time. Able to knock in the 3 from deep.
Yeah, V. Krejci, who really showed a lot last year as a rookie with Oklahoma City, played 30 games. Only 4 in the first half of the year, but then played the final 26 with the Thunder and really got his opportunity to work himself into an NBA type of player. There's more of that, that versatility that we expect from John Butler. But at 7'1" and only 19 years old, this is an intriguing prospect.
No, he is, because he's thin in nature, but he has a skill set, and that goes back to versatility. Krejci, at the beginning of the game, guess what? He was running point guard. He was initiating the offense. So even when he played in the latter stages of the season, OKC utilized his skill set in different positions on the court.
Brown has the board. Thunder now running the other way. Krejci cutting on the outside. Baker gets rid of it to the corner for Brown. Back to Baker. Got it.
Good looking shot. And that was good offense, too, because the ball really didn't stick in someone's hands. It got to the corner, sunk the defense a little bit. Baker able to step right in for a good-looking three.
And both teams really playing well on the offensive end, getting quality looks and knocking them down. And how about the offensive rebound? Hankins just vacuums it in and will go to the free throw line.
Well, but both teams understand this, too, is that the key to winning this game is not going to be one-on-one. It's the ball moving, guys, multiple guys touching the basketball, utilizing the full breadth of the offense. So quality signs, I think, if you're talking about both coaches, how you evaluate it, both teams doing an excellent job of just playing team basketball.
Oklahoma City has 19 shot attempts. 14 of them are from three. But to your point, it's not that they're not just taking threes. They're getting good looks.
All those three-point shots are not created equal.
Right.
In this particular scenario, it's because they come down, they set it up. It's not off of one pass, one dribble. It's me versus the team. I'm going to make you have to work, and if we get an open shot, coach is going to tell you if you're open, let it go.
And there's a swing. Baker, the same spot. Different result this time. But that's just great ball movement. That's exactly what these coaches are looking for with a 2-second difference. Shot clock to game clock. Here comes the Pelicans. Stewart set up the offense with 10 to shoot. Picked up on the outside by Kengu. Swinging around, great bounce pass and a wide open slam. Hankins getting it done on the inside. And a whistle with 4.7. They're going to try to make sure the clock is right here, but this is perfect offense.
But it's simple offense. You come off a down screen, a curl, the strong side quarter is open or empty, and you make the simple play. Again, when you operate offense like that, and you work on it constantly, and then when it works to perfection, the coach just gives you a wink and say, I told you to work.
So it's a turnover because the inbounder was over the line, so they get it in for Servetus, and he knocks through the triple. How about that turn of events?
How about that? 5-point play.
Gaddy cannot hit from beyond half court, and New Orleans puts up 30 points in the first 10 minutes of this game. Leads by 9 after 1.
Final day of Summer League here in Vegas. We've got the Thunder, we've got the Pelicans, and with me we have Dyson Daniels for New Orleans, their first-round draft pick. Dyson, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Maybe not the Summer League you expected to have, getting hurt there early on. I guess first off, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, the ankle's feeling a lot better than it was in the first game, so I'm ready to get back out there. But obviously not how I planned. But it's been good seeing the guys doing well out there.
Yeah, still being able to take something from this experience. What have you been able to learn just kind of hanging on the sidelines?
Yeah, I think, just being on sidelines, being able to analyze the game and, see where I can, help my team win. And I think, Summer League's a great experience for me to just, break down the game a little bit, see where I can go get my own, see where I can help my teammates out, and, see how I can impact winning on the floor. So, I've been analyzing, watching film and stuff, so that's been helpful.
Pelicans obviously caught attention for what they did last year. Who are you most excited to maybe work with at one of the veterans of this New Orleans team?
I mean, we've got a great team. There's a lot of guys that, can learn off. And, CJ is probably the main one. He's been in the league a while now and, he's got a great basketball mind. So being able to learn off him is something I'm looking forward to. But, we've got some great players in this team that have very good IQs and, very vocal. So I'm looking forward to learning off everyone. And
anyone in particular in the league that you kind of look up to or model your game after?
I wouldn't say I look up to them or model my game after them, but I like to take bits and pieces from everyone's game. I like to look at like Lonzo Ball's defense and his two-way type game, and for me, I just want to be myself, play my own game, and work on my game every day and get better.
Do you feel like you Australia guys stick together a little bit when you come into the league like this?
Yeah, for sure. We stick together off the floor, but on the floor it's business. So once I come against those Australian guys, it's going to be fun and it's going to be a battle. But we definitely stick together off the floor for sure.
As far as New Orleans in general, just the city, what are you most excited about? Have you ever had a beignet in New Orleans before?
I have not had that, but I'm excited for the food. I've got a lot of food suggestions, so heading to some restaurants and stuff like that, getting some good seafood in. But I mean, I'm looking forward to getting to work. We're going to have a great team this year, and I'm just looking forward to, experiencing what the atmosphere is going to be like playing in the NBA.
Are you a golf fan at all? Did you watch the British Open by chance?
I didn't, but I've seen an Australian guy won it, so that's impressive. So shout out to him.
You know what's happening around the world. I love that. Thank you so much, Dyson. We're looking forward to watching you this year.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Noah, Jim, take it away.
Thanks, Ashley. That's a healthy perspective on pretty much every answer he gave, especially at 19 years old. He's wise beyond his years.
Oh, no, but listen, if you close your eyes and just listen, you would not have thought that was the conversation was coming from a 19-year-old.
No doubt.
But that's one of the things, too, when you talk about European players, because of the worldliness of them, of playing international basketball at a young age, they grow and mature, I think, a little bit sooner. So you can tell the intelligence was there. And it's going to be interesting to watch his progress as he gets, healthy, first of all, and then gets around his teammates and is able to learn, how to play in this game. But you can already tell that what's between the ears, he's way ahead of his competition.
Yeah, you can't teach that.
No,
I loved Ashley asked the question about, do you Australians, you feel like you stick together? And he goes, yeah, off the court, but then it's all business when we get on the court.
And he was emphatic about that part, too. He's like, yeah, they're my boys, but I'm going to go at that neck when we play each other. But it's unfortunate that he had the injury now, because I think as a young player, especially coming from overseas, you want to test your wares. I don't care if it's against the veterans in the league or it's just against guys that played in the G League or whoever it may be. You want to get out on court and play. Unfortunately, he had the injury early, but it allows him time to heal, get ready for the upcoming season, which I'm excited for.
You've got Patty Mills, Ben Simmons, Joe Ingles, and then, of course, Josh Giddey, all Australian players in the league right now. And there have been others. But Giddey and Daniels played together for over a decade over in Australia. Those two are very close. In fact, Giddey had talked about him before all of the draft stuff and now the Summer League stuff. And, of course, Giddey has been here in Vegas, hasn't played the last couple of games for Oklahoma City. But he said that he's one of his best friends. He's a great guy and really enjoyed playing with him. And I'm sure that for Dyson Daniels, Josh Giddey was a great resource to have, someone to talk to of, hey, what can I expect next year when I make it to the NBA, seeing what Josh Giddey did as a rookie last year, a couple of impressive triple-doubles, one of the youngest players, actually I believe the youngest player in NBA history with a triple-double last year. He is expected to take major leaps forward because he is still so young. He's still one of the youngest players in the Summer League as a second-year guy, and Dyson Daniels not far off from that, right alongside Giddey, is expected to do big things for New Orleans.
Well, what you also want to do, too, because a lot of these young men were able to play a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
As a young player, what you want to do is start to develop winning habits, okay? And you do that by understanding, one, you have to have an open mind to what you need to actually get better at. Because you can play a lot of minutes but still make a lot of the same mistakes and not incrementally get better. That's where the organization, veteran leadership, help young players understand incrementally how they need to improve. And that's going to be the key for all these young guys that are in the league that are getting major minutes. Yes, you're getting major minutes, but are you improving mentally in the mental aspect of your game? So that's what I'm looking forward to checking out this year as well.
The one positive with Dyson Daniels that you are going to get is his defensive just instincts. That's what he really stood out doing well in the G League last year with G League Ignite. He stepped up and defensively was a monster at times, especially on ball, allowing less than 0.7 points per possession as the primary defender, which is very much elite level defense. So if nothing else, he might not say, oh, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to put up 25. But he can go out there and he can guard. And you heard him say Lonzo Ball, that two-way type of play, that willingness to get everybody else involved. That's what this New Orleans organization is expecting to get out of him right away as a rookie.
Well, let me give you a comp.
Okay.
Mikal Bridges.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Came into this league kind of like he did when he was at Villanova as a defensive-minded player.
For sure.
With a team that had some offensive tools, which allowed him to develop his overall game in the league. And now he's got rewarded with a great, outstanding contract.
Yep.
Because his focus was on the defensive end, and I can impact the game not just scoring. I can do it by guarding multiple positions. Okay, I'm comfortable with that. But it allows my offensive game to kind of grow within the structure of the framework of our team. And now you have a complete player.
Well, no, and that's a great example, by the way. Similar height, similar type of wiry frame between those two. But you look across the league at some of the superstars. Paul George, another example. When he first got to Indiana, they said, oh, this guy's going to be a defensive stud. And it took him about a year or two, and they go, oh, wait a second. This guy's going to be a superstar. You just never quite know. And if you start Klay Thompson, guys who just hung their hat defensively, obviously Kawhi Leonard, like they can now develop over time. So Dyson Daniels with that frame and that just natural raw ability, you start with a defense and then you just start to add in and sprinkle in some of those other pieces, the sky's the limit.
But you know why I like those guys? I love those guys because in order to be an outstanding and a great defensive player, you got to want to play deep, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to score.
No doubt.
And I'm everybody. Some guys are comfortable not. But you don't have to have a talk with somebody to say, you know what, I need you to be more aggressive offense. Guys know that. Defensively is where the mental aspect of taking pride in shutting down your opponent and being an anchor on the defense, that comes from within. And when you have young players who embody that early, that framework, that mold you can work with.
New Orleans has had their lead balloon up to 13. It is back to 10 as we approach the midway point of the second. Quarter number 2. Chet Holmgren, the number 2 overall pick in this year's NBA draft. A lot of people were interested to see what he would look like taking the step up from the college game to the NBA level, where at Gonzaga last year he averaged over 14 points and 10 rebounds per game, shot 61% from the floor, and at 7'1", 7'2", he shot nearly 40% from three-point territory. Well, his debut wowed people. 23 points, 7 rebounds, a summer league record 6 blocks against the Jazz in the Salt Lake City Summer League. That was on July 5th. And he had some other really standout moments here in Vegas, but nothing that quite matched the level of, whoa, this is a potential superstar in the making. And I think a lot of people really got to understand why he was so highly touted as a kid, getting into high school, and then even coming out of Gonzaga last year. You could see the will to win, you could see the confidence on the floor, and hear it in the way he spoke about himself and his teammates after the game as well.
You know, it's interesting because even though Gonzaga was on TV a lot, they were still West Coast teams. So a lot of East Coast fans didn't really get a chance to witness him on a kind of like a weekly basis until the tournament came about. So there's a lot of questions still for people that didn't really see him. You know, they looked at his frame. Was he strong enough? Can he? No, the skill set is there. His father played at the University of Minnesota. He has the knowledge, but also he got some dog in him too. He got a little cockiness to him.
And you can see it.
Which you love. Okay, so Ash, you got some stuff. I know you got some insight over there.
I sure do over here,
Talk to
guys.
me.
You said it, though. Chet, superstar in the making. We're seeing what he can do. He's making a name for himself. But he talks about a particular time when he says the world kind of realized who he was. Very particular moment. He was at Steph Curry's basketball camp, and he just so happened to be matched up with Steph. Not sure how that happened, but it did. He used Steph's own move to cross him up, get to the basket. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's a clip that did, in fact, go viral. He says that highlight started spreading. He says he got more texts, more Snapchats for the young kids, DMs, than he could respond to. His Instagram got more than 500,000 follows that week. He picked up so many prominent followers. He said that's when Dwayne Wade started following him after that, too. So he said things drastically changed after that clip went viral of him using Steph's move against him and crossing him up. I mean, he is positionless basketball, if you will. So that's just him in a nutshell.
When we talk about modern basketball, that's great stuff, Ashley. You talk about it and you say, we were already impressed with what John Butler was doing early this game. 7'1", 19-year-old, stepping back from 3. And then you have him at 7'1", 7'2", anywhere through in that sense. Stepping back, crossing over. You look at this draft of the last couple of years. This is hitting, and this is what Sam Presti does. Year, hit. Just continues to get the job done.
Well, one of the challenges, too, with today's youth is not their talent. It's the amount of pressure that's put on them because of dealing with social media, of being successful, maybe not early on, and how you deal with it. That in itself has to be addressed. And beautiful shot that time from the wing again, talking about talent, able to knock it in. But that itself is also plays into the success of a player at a young age on how they deal with the stresses of social media.
Yeah.
The instant gratification, but also the instant criticism when things don't go right. And for a young player in a league with a lot of pressure and expectations, that can be overwhelming.
But Sam Presti at this point, if you didn't believe in his draft ability, is when he drafted Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden back-to-back years. And, by the way, Serge Ibaka late in the first round.
That's right.
To get that young core together. those first 3 winning MVPs at different times in their career. He didn't believe in it then. What about now, when you bring in a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for your trade, you draft Lou Dort, or actually don't even draft Lou Dort, you bring him in as an undrafted free agent, you draft Josh Giddey, who appears to be a star in the making, and now you have Chet Holmgren on the roster, not to mention the other first-round picks they had this year, Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara, Ousmane Dieng, the French 19-year-old, 11th overall, Jalen Williams in the second round. They find these diamonds in the rough, and that's what Oklahoma City does. We talked about the player development of the Torontos of the world. Well, OKC, they're building that player development as well. They're building that young core, and they have a force to be reckoned with, it looks like, in the future.
Well, but also, too, you got to be willing to deal with this. When you have a lot of young talent, you have to be able to deal with attrition. And what I mean is that you're going to grow some of this young talent that's not going to be there through the course of their tenure. And you have to be comfortable with that, because you're not going to be able to keep it all. But the core group of it, you're going to be able to develop a winning culture based around that, knowing that all of those draft picks and those young players may not be on the roster long term.
Great pass. Gabe Brown eventually finishes it from the corner. OKC back within single digits here. Just under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Darian Sebron gets rid of it. Nice drive by Petty and a better follow. Slammed down by Tariq Jones. Krejci
nice
get rid of it.
back.
And it's going to be a foul likely called here as Krejci hits the deck. Got to check another look at this pass from Gaddy to the corner that eventually resulted in the Gabe Brown dribble.
The game is simple. If your teammate is open, get him the ball. Brown does the rest, 3-ball corner pocket, and then underneath, missed shot. My boy Tariq Jones followed up, big fella.
Welcome back to Vegas, where New Orleans holds an 11-point lead over the Oklahoma City Thunder with 2:33 now remaining in this second quarter at Cox Pavilion. No Eagle, Jim Jackson, Ashley Shamady here with you. Appreciate you taking some time on a fantastic Sunday to join us for what is the conclusion of this Vegas Summer League, the final day here. A couple more games following this one more here in Cox Pavilion. I know some going on at Thomas and Mack as well, as that 3-ball comes up just a little bit short for Abdul Gaddy. Darian Sebron, the undrafted rookie out of NC State. Petty now on the wing. Petty makes his move with 10 to shoot. Looking for the cutter, intercepted.
Yeah, Butler just couldn't handle that one right there. An opportunity out in transition. There you go, throw it at the rim. Gaddy also knew that coming from behind, Butler was coming. A bounce pass wouldn't work. You got to get it up quick, and Gabe Brown was able to get up and over before the longer Butler was able to contest.
Gabe Brown now with a game-high 13 points and a nice move directly to the cup for Darian Sebron.
Sebron put up some numbers at North Carolina State.
Gabe Brown, unconscious in the first half, 16 on 6 of 9 shooting. I don't know why, but anyone who's left-handed always looks better. Just does.
It's something. My son is left-handed too. Something about that jump shot. Right there, well, that one.
All right, well, is that a broadcaster?
I was just going to say it. Look, and it was a play-by-play. It wasn't me. Oh,
whatever. Listen.
It's the truth, bro.
I don't know if I believe it.
Let's take a survey. When we say broadcaster's jinx, it's usually
well, but it's the person. It's
the play-by-play.
It's the person who's normally talking, sure.
Which is the play-by-play.
But you can have a broadcaster's jinx.
I can't.
Oh,
it's
you're
impossible.
incapable of it.
It's impossible.
Okay. I mean, maybe we'll test it.
It's impossible.
Sebron with just under a minute to play in the second. Trying to find the nooks and crannies of the defense. Oh, that's a tough finish. He's just getting anything to go right now.
But, you know, he playing in college, he can score from all 3 levels. I mean, and that one was an off-balance shot, a little contact, but he was able to maintain, you know, his concentration. You know, he averaged 17 points and 8 rebounds at North Carolina State.
Well, he's got 16 already in this first half. Another corner 3. Gets the roll. Robert Baker, the Harvard product, with a smart bounce.
I knew that. I knew you were going to come with something like that.
That's why we work well together, man.
I knew it. Good one, though.
I appreciate it. 2-second difference between shot clock to game clock. Sebron trying to do it all himself. Gets rid of it. Butler is fouled.
Oh, Gaddy, tough.
We've seen some good chemistry between Abdul Gaddy and Gabe Brown so far.
Well, it was that extra dribble that allowed Gabe to create some more separation that time from Butler. Again, as a playmaker, when you give it up, choose to give it up is very important. Too early, you don't get that. Too late, maybe Butler gets a block.
So can I do a reverse broadcaster's jinx? John
Butler.
Butler
You can do what you want.
Shot just 44% last year at Florida State from the line. Look at that. You see, I'm now learning how to use the power for good.
Well, but it goes back to my point. Is it all in the play-by-play?
But you're just saying I have all the power.
When it comes to jinx.
And yet you called me the Green Goblin, so it's dangerous. I now
Green Goblin got some powers now.
Power, but dangerous power.
Yeah.
I didn't say it that time. Butler misses 3 seconds left. Can Gabe Brown finish the half with a bang? No, he cannot. But the Pelicans will still go into the break with a 10-point cushion. 51-41. New Orleans shoots 42% from the floor, but 44% from downtown, and leads by double figures going into the break. Staying currently up by 10. Halftime here at Cox Pavilion was plenty fun. We were wondering how this young man was going to do in Crocs with a half-court shot. If you can see Jim Jackson's reaction, it tells you the whole story. Unbelievable, just knocking down the bucket. No eagle, Jim Jackson, Ashley Shamadi. I think we all went nuts looking at each other.
We didn't set it up because the first shot, he actually was on target because he shot it over the backboard in between the score.
Which is impossible to do.
In between the shot clock and didn't hit anything.
Yeah.
And then he came right back and made the shot. Now, here's the question.
Yeah.
So do they just keep every shoe size around? How do they know what size shoe he wore?
That would be my assumption, is that when he goes out, they say, hey, what do you wear? And he says, hey, I wear a 12.
Okay.
They go, okay, we got a 12 right here. That's just my guess. Because basically there was someone who shot for the first game here at Cox Pavilion, and he missed all 3 attempts.
Okay.
But it was different shoes. I noticed, different shoe box. So I'd assume they're different shoes for each size.
There we go.
That's my investigative reporting of the day.
That's that
Sorry,
Syracuse
Ashley.
investigation.
That's
right
we learned. We learned.
Oh,
and
nice
a foul
play.
inside. Jalen Williams just got hacked on his way up. All right, Ashley, what do you think of my investigative opportunities and abilities?
Of our half-court shot, you went
Yes.
out a little bit there, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, doing it in Crocs alone,
That was ridiculous.
and it wasn't even like it didn't hit the rim or anything. It was perfect.
No, it was perfect.
No, he nailed it.
How often do you think he practices that?
Well, the fact also that he didn't do the running start, because I was concerned at first.
No, you talked about it.
I was concerned. Those are Yeezy slides. I don't know if we're
Yeah,
gonna
those
have-
ain't Crocs.
Imagine if someone hit a half-court shot though in Yeezy slides. That would be legendary stuff.
Would you rather try in Yeezys or try in Crocs?
Well, no, in Crocs you could put them in sport mode. You know, you put them. You do
the
you put
sport
the thing,
mode with the little
yeah, you
thing
put
on
the
the
thing
back.
in the back, and now you've got more traction. You've got a better feel. You guys know about sport
You
mode,
should
right?
be in marketing, Noah. Sport mode for Crocs.
No, sport mode's well known. It's well known.
I didn't know about it.
What?
No, I'm sorry, brother.
You didn't know, Ashley?
Sport mode on a car?
No,
Yeah.
but on the Crocs.
No.
No,
Crocs
no
are
idea.
basically as valuable as a
I've
car.
never owned
Everybody
a
knows
Crocs.
that.
Yeah, of course.
I never owned Crocs.
I've only owned Crocs when I was maybe 8 years old, so I don't think
Sure,
I have.
Noah. You wore them here. You changed before you came out here.
Yeah, this
Be honest.
this is the live example of expose him. This is what's happening right now. All right, well, I respect it. I respect the fact that you appreciate my investigative reporting. Either way, we do have a game here, and I would say that both the Pelicans and Thunder are trying to finish strong, as you'd expect in the last day of Summer League. Guys are trying to prove they deserve to be on a roster. But coaching-wise, something we haven't really hit on today, coaching-wise, both of these coaches are looking to prove themselves as potential head coaches one day. Jaron Collins, who Willie Green said when he got the job, if I can hire one guy, it's Jaron Collins, who played in the NBA 10 seasons, 7 years with the Warriors as an assistant, winning titles there under Steve Kerr. Jaron Collins is someone that many believe could be a head coach one day. And in talking to coaches around the league, the best former players most of the time that are head coaches now were role players. And Jaron Collins is one of the best role players in the league for a decade.
And he played center, because a lot of times you don't see coaches
Good point.
who are centers who kind of thrive and be successful for whatever reason. It's usually guards.
Guards or wings.
Guards or wings. But here's the thing. What it allows you to do in the Summer League is not just in-game situations, have corrections, substitution patterns, late-game situation, but it prepares you as a coach for your practices okay, your practice schedule, all of those things that, involve the head coach. So it's a full gamut. It's a great testing ground for young up-and-coming coaches who aspire to be a head coach in the league at some point.
Phil Jackson, a big man, obviously one of the greatest, if not the greatest head coach in NBA history, one of the greatest 15 named to the list this year. Kendrick Perkins, that was something he had talked about when he was deciding right when he retired what he wanted to do. He decided he wanted to go into coaching. And he said the reason was there were no big men coaches. No. There weren't any centers that were head coaches around the league or even at the collegiate level to that extent, to that level. And so that's what intrigued him about it. And then he got into the media stuff and he fell in love with it. But for Jarron Collins, this could be a springboard for him. He has had a solid showing here. New Orleans 2-2 coming into this game, but they've had some big games. And currently with a 14-point cushion, to do it with the injuries he's dealt with on his roster is even more impressive.
But the manipulation of their roster and how do you utilize the bodies that you have and put them in a situation where they can be successful, that's part of the coaching part of it. Because you got to deal with that during the course of the season when you're a head coach anyway.
Here's the other thing. You got Cameron Woods on the other side. Great finish. John Butler inside, outside, and everything in between. We'll get to Cameron Woods. We'll get to the Oklahoma City Thunder on the other side as they trail by 16. New Orleans flexing its muscles in the third. Following all the big moves and breaking news on the NBA app. So we had a great conversation about Jarron Collins and his quest to be a head coach. On the other side for Oklahoma City, 29-year-old Cameron Woods has been their head coach throughout their summer league experience. Joined the Thunder staff last year as an assistant. Coached the last 3 games for Oklahoma City here in Vegas. And he spent all of last year and the year prior, I should say, as a development coach for the Thunder. Worked 2 seasons as an assistant for their G League affiliate, the Oklahoma City Blue, which is where their head coach Mark Daignault had come from before taking the head job. And he played at Butler as a big man. He finished his collegiate career second leading rebounder in Butler history with 956 boards. So 2 big men coaches going back and forth right now, but Cameron Woods at 29, that's also really cool to see a young up-and-comer getting an opportunity here in Vegas.
Nice move. And nice, again, the little things, timeout, you draw up a play, your team was able to execute, get a nice shot, patience on offense.
3 ball up and short off the hands of Sebron. Leak out, Krejci behind the pack, and he slams.
Jalen Williams showing off a little quarterback skills right there. Hit it right in the hands.
Keep the head up.
That's right.
Pittsburgh Steelers could be calling.
There you go. Wop Butler.
John Butler.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what.
Shot 39% from 3 last year.
Shouldn't be surprised. Again, now, this is the NBA 3.
Yep.
He's stepping back and shooting it. We see him stretching it out, and he's only 19 years old. You know, he probably got lost in the shuffle with all the big names. A lot of times is where you land as a player, too. You know, organization-wise, it gives you an opportunity.
Brown tried the extra pass for Williams, and it was intercepted. Nice anticipation as Tariq Jones will slow it down now. Here he is. Takes the handoff, goes right at Williams. Can't finish on the teardrop. Gaddy in transition. Shake and bake, slow it down. Goes between the legs. Krejci, hesitation. Banging bodies, kick it out. Shackelford for 3. New Orleans has just felt like they've been in control this entire game now, midway through this third quarter. They have led by as many as 19. It's back now to 18.
Well, but as we've seen and we've witnessed teams that seem like they're out of it, come the end of the third and the fourth, they find ways to get back in it. But if you allow Butler, who's been hot from behind the three-point line all afternoon, 5 for 5 as a matter of fact, so perfect.
I always find it interesting where a player is a great three-point shooter. Butler's up to 20 points. He has not missed in this game. He's 7 of 7 and 5 of 5 from 3. Here's that quarterback play you were talking about.
Oh, that was off his back foot, too.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Okay, that's impressive. Arm strength.
Easy finish for Krejci. 7 for 7, 5 for 5 from 3. Yet we're talking about someone who shot 44% from the free throw line last year in college.
That's mental.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
Let me tell you something. It's a lot of guys that played in this league that are really good perimeter shooters that weren't great free throw shooters. You scratch your head like how, I mean, it's a shorter shot. The stroke is still the same. But
no one's guarding you.
No one's guarding you. But it's mental, you know, when you get to the free throw line. And a lot of times that block, because you got time to think about it. A lot of times as a shooter, you're on the perimeter, you catch and shoot, you let it go. You're in motion. But if you start to have less success at the free throw line, you have more time to think about it as you approach it. And I think that plays into the mental aspect of why guys shoot a lower percentage at times that are really good shooters.
Did you ever have, actually, before I ask you that, we got to go to Ash because she's got more on our guy, John Butler.
I absolutely do. You guys, he credits his dad for saying to him, you know what, John, you have to be more than just tall in life. You have to be able to dribble. You have to be able to shoot. You have to be able to pass. He said everyone's going to comment on your height, and we don't want you to just be a paint player. That was his dad who did it for him, so that's why we see the skill set that he has right now. He says the growth spurt for him happened, man, I think it was 6 inches between 6th grade and 7th grade, and then he wore a size 16 shoe, so he had that growth spurt early, has always been tall, and he's been just trying to build this skill set ever since he was a kid.
He's developed it well. Must be nice to have that growth spurt.
Well, how about this? How many players, we got to get this beautiful pass that Leonard Hamilton has in the NBA out of Florida State. That we always talk about outstanding college programs and coaches and Kentucky putting multiple guys in the NBA. But think about the number of prospects that have come out of Florida State.
Just in the last 5 years. Yeah.
I mean, the Rookie of the Year was from
Florida State.
You know, we're blessed with Terrence Mann. I mean, with Clippers. But it's a lot of players that over the last 5 to 8 years from Florida State.
Yep. Well, I did ask Terrence about why he thought that program has really skyrocketed in getting NBA players out. And his answer was pretty simple when it was all said and done. But he said, when they recruit you, a lot of what they're telling you is we are going to develop your skill set so that it is tailor-made for the NBA by the time you leave. And that's exactly what they do. They keep their promise so that when guys first arrive on campus, they're working on all of the things they're eventually going to be doing when they get to the NBA level. And I don't think we give Leonard Hamilton enough credit for just how good of a coach he is and has been for decades now at the college level.
Here's the switch in mentality. Is that previously college coaches were more concerned about how they grow their program.
For sure.
And not about developing players to go into the next level. Okay, it happened within the structure. It wasn't the first thought. Now it's changed a lot differently.
We'll see if John Butler and the Pelicans can NBA 2K23 Summer League action continues on NBA TV. The final game of NBA Vegas Summer League here in 2022. The Nuggets and the Jazz at 8 p.m. Eastern. Coaching staff already in the building, getting ready to go. We'll have all the action for you until the final buzzer here at Cox Pavilion. Meanwhile, we've got one more to finish. Cutter couldn't handle it there as Baker lets it roll through his hands. Back the other way, Petty, 4-year leader really at Alabama, defensive stalwart there. Gets the screen, uses it right down the middle of the lane, runs into traffic and is fouled as he loses a little bit of control. All right, so right now, Butler is 5 of 5 from three-point territory. What was your best three-point shooting output without missing?
8 of 8.
8 of 8? When? What level?
I was playing with the Rockets.
You went 8 of 8. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, Dave Freed's going to check it out. The initial reports were that it was 5 of 5.
Well, maybe I'm exaggerating. But I was 13 for 13 that game.
No, different game. 11 of 12 that game. 5 of 5 from 3.
I don't like you. I really don't. See, my memory says it was different. Was that the Houston-Sacramento game?
Yes, Houston-Sacramento. So you remember the game?
So I remember the game. I missed. No, man.
You want to double check?
At one point, I was 8 for 8.
8 for 8 from the floor?
From the floor.
Okay, from the floor. And you finished 11 for 12.
Yeah.
All right, well, Butler's back on the floor. Now we're going to see if the broadcaster's collective jinx is really in
don't
play.
put me in that.
No, I'm throwing you in.
No.
I'm throwing you in.
I'm wishing for him to do it. You don't.
I don't wish anything bad on anybody.
So why are you wishing me into the broadcaster's
I'm not wishing you into anything.
You just did that.
All right, Dave Fried has come with some extra stats,
what do
though.
you got?
So Butler 5 of 5 from 3.
Okay.
The best perfect three-point output. So most threes made without a miss in an NBA game. Have any guesses who it might be?
The most without a miss.
Yes. Honestly, not what you would have thought. 2 different players did it.
The number I'm gonna say is 8.
9. So you're close on the number. 9 for 9.
9 for 9. And the player, I have no clue.
Okay. Ben Gordon did it twice.
When he was with Detroit, or was he?
I would assume with Chicago.
With
Dave will check on that.
Okay.
Latrell Sprewell did it once.
Wow. Okay. What? Spree?
Spree.
New York Spree or Golden State Spree? Well, it had to be New York Spree.
Dave will get it.
I think it's New York
What about
Spree.
Minnesota? You never know.
New York Spree.
That's your guess?
Yeah.
New York is correct.
Yeah.
And we'll get, I'm assuming, Chicago for Ben Gordon, but possibility. Chicago and Detroit. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Ben Gordon was one of those sneaky players that just could go on a heater.
And get buckets.
Bucket getter for
And he
sure.
wasn't, Ben wasn't big, but he had a strong body.
He was strong.
He was strong body. He knew how to get to a spot.
Our own Steve Smith, by the way, 8 for 8 in a game.
Who?
Steve Smith. Meanwhile, we'll see if Butler can finish this game perfect. He's got 20 points, 7 of 7, and now Servidis is trying to get in the party. He's hit a couple threes. He's up to 15 off the bench, and this lead is ballooned up to 22 points for the Pelicans.
And Coach Collins, the last few possessions defensively, understanding that he wanted to try some things and put New Orleans in like a 1-2-2 zone defense.
You want one final trivia question before the end of the quarter?
I'm all for it.
Best ever total field goals without a miss. Any idea what the number is and who it would be? This one is a little more obvious of who it would be.
Well, let's do this. Let's tease it.
Okay.
Think about it. We bring it back. Not that I'm going to look it up or anything. Just trust me on that. There we go.
Drills one.
I don't want to rush it.
I like it. I like the idea.
Nice
5
tease.
seconds left here. Tough fade, falls short. Servidis grabs the board, and that is the end of 3 here at Cox Pavilion. A 25-point lead for New Orleans. Everything going right for the Pelicans. They've made 15 threes in the first 30 minutes, including this one from Stewart to beat the shot clock as we head to the 4th. Where the Pelicans have put together a strong effort in their final Summer League game, 79-54 advantage as we begin the 4th quarter. All right, so towards the end of the 3rd, I posed the question, best ever output in terms of total field goals without a miss in NBA history. Took the time to ponder, Jim Jackson. Do you have a guess as your final answer?
Nope.
You don't have a guess? It's going to be one of these where I say it, you're going to be like, oh, I should have gotten it.
Give me a hint.
Okay, era is 60s, 70s, one of the greatest players of all time. He is a big man.
So, oh wait.
Dave Fried wants everyone to know he's mentioning
okay,
it
so
correct.
during the 60s, 70s?
Yes.
Nate Thurman.
No. No. Come on.
He's a center.
Center. Truck probably has it right if you heard him.
I don't know.
Mostly 70s. Will Chamberlain.
Oh, Will.
Will Chamberlain. The output
Oh,
was...
wait, the output, you mean, I thought we were still talking about a three-point shot.
No. We're just talking overall.
Oh, Will Chamberlain.
18 of 18.
Yeah.
18
Hello.
of 18.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
60s,
one of 800,000 records he owned, right?
100%.
I mean.
I agree. Listen, Wilt, the Stilt, Big Dipper, anything you want to call him, was one of the greatest players in the history of this game. And he has the record for most field goals without a miss. Now, John Butler is up to 7 for 7 today, 5 for 5 from 3, and he is on the floor to begin this
do we
fourth
have one specifically for the summer league? Can we find that?
All right, well, Dave, you're going to put him
Dave,
to work.
For the summer league, the
Oh, what
Most shots made without missing in the summer league.
He'll find it in seconds. He's a mastermind over here. He's not kept. What? Not kept. I don't believe him. I don't believe him.
Inconclusive.
I don't believe him. Based on our breakfast conversations, I don't believe him. He's got knowledge for days.
Oh, nice flip pass right there inside.
Great feed, and free throws incoming for Amadou Sow. All right, so we saw a nice 3-ball at the end of the shot clock before the end of the third quarter by Elijah Stork. USC product. USC and UCLA joining the Big Ten. So, listen, as somebody who's familiar with the conference, obviously has dealt with what the travel already was. Think about it now.
Interesting, yes. The non-revenue sports, too.
For sure.
Okay. But trust when I say this. They're not done, I don't believe. I think they still have to create some kind of natural rivalries for the two, whether that's instituting getting a couple more of the Pac-12 teams involved. But when you make a move like this, you got to plan because those questions have already been vetted.
Oh, yeah.
In regards to travel and this and how many times.
Oh, we got another one.
There's another one.
Another 3-ball. That's 6 for 6. Listen, Dave, just keep the score now and make this the record.
Right.
If you're not keeping the other ones, make him the record. Anyway, continue.
But no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's going to be very interesting because we all know football drives the ship.
For sure.
Okay. Where does that leave the remaining teams? The Arizona States, Utah's. I know the Big 12 is looking at them. And also from a revenue perspective, keep in mind the Pac-12 revenues were down the last year compared to previous years. You're losing the machine in UCLA, USC. And, we're all driven by revenue. Okay, so those other schools are going to have to look. We even talked about Stanford and Cal, where that leaves them. It is an interesting. We've been trending towards it for a while. A
super conference.
Super conference where you have the SEC and it's just the Big Ten, or it's regional. I don't know. Now I did read that the TV deal for the Big Ten upcoming is estimated to be about $1 billion.
With a B?
With a B, and I don't think that's counting the independent contract from local and also the Big Ten network. That's just the national. I think it is.
That's crazy.
I think.
But I know you're excited for UCLA flying to Piscataway, New Jersey to take on a hungry Rutgers team. I know you're excited about it.
Hey, Nick Cronin coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's funny. Nick left to get away from the wintertime, from playing a lot like that from Cincinnati, and now he's going to be in a couple years right back in the Midwest. He's from Cincinnati. But it's you know what? But how do you schedule too? Because that's such a long trip.
Right, you gotta plan in advance. You gotta now.
Do you play two teams?
You probably do that where it's similar in the NBA. Yep. Like everybody who comes to LA plays both the Lakers and the Clippers in the same trip.
Yep.
Interesting conversations to be had and plenty of time to do it. 6:28 left here in Cox. Quite literally been unblemished. 8 for 8, 6 for 6 from 3, 23 points and 5 boards for the 7'1" 19-year-old, although the free throw is still the only concern for him.
But you know what? He's not hunting shots, though. And how about the versatility? Collins has him up top on the zone defense. Creechy right there able to find the slot in the opening. But he's not hunting for shots, which is the good part about it, too.
So Dave Freed has looked into the Summer League records that have been kept. Here's the individual records. Points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals in a game. Do you have any idea who has the most points in a game?
Nope.
Zero idea?
Zero.
Anthony Morrow scored 47 points in a Summer League.
Never would have got it.
47.
And I wasn't going to raise my brain cells trying to figure it out either. I can tell you that now. There's a lot of dudes that came through the Summer League and put up numbers. I wouldn't go do that to myself.
I was here a couple years ago when Furkan Korkmaz had, I think, 41 in a game, and that was crazy. 40. It was 40 even. Anthony Randolph had 42, Von Wafer had 42, and Marcus Banks had 42.
Banks.
All three of those guys scored 42 in a Summer League game.
See? Never would it. Nope. I wasn't going to do that to myself, bro.
I don't blame you.
I'm not doing it.
I don't blame you. But this is what it's been like being around Dave Freed my whole life. Now I'm just used to it.
Oh,
the questions just come. Great block, and Butler with a recovery. Sebron back the other way. Do you find Butler at this point?
Yes.
Feed the hot hand. Stewart off the screen. On the drive. Oh, great pass. Sebron all alone, shooting practice. Butler knocked it out of bounds. So the final 5:16 of Summer League action for both these teams. Pelicans 2-2 coming in, the Thunder 3-1. A lot of the players that both teams brought with them to start the 10 days are not playing in this one. Giddey, Holmgren, Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara, Lindy Waters, Aaron Wiggins, Trey Mann, Eugene Omoruyi, and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Many of those players will be on the opening day roster for Oklahoma City, as Stewart with the heavy attack, got it to go and one. Was waiting for the call, and Stewart didn't care, was going to get the bucket regardless of the harm.
Well, but he was able to attack early before OKC and the defense got set. Look, everyone for OKC is retreating backwards. So that just opened up the driving lane for Stewart to use that athleticism to get downhill and score. You know, it's interesting. We're coming to the end of Summer League, one more game left. But for us, and I know you came early in the week. Yeah. I wasn't here early enough, but I did watch it on TV. Is there something that we always ask players and coaches take away from it? Is there something you take away from your time being here in the Summer League?
Yeah, no doubt. To me, that the Summer League, the NBA has done a tremendous job, and Warren Legary and everybody who's involved deserves an immense amount of credit for making this the event that it is now. And if you're a legitimate basketball fan, this is a bucket list type of event now, as Sebron knocks down another triple, because it's a one-stop shop. You see everybody. You see everybody around the league, and if you don't know them, they're approachable right now, more approachable than they are during the regular season or during the postseason. You can get as many as 10 games for one ticket, so you're seeing high-level basketball of guys who could potentially turn into future stars in the league and say, I saw him back when. I got to see Chet Holmgren when he was just starting out as a rookie. So it's a bang-for-your-buck type of event, one. And two, if you're an NBA person, and for us, we work in the league, and so we see all the people we work with. We get to catch up with people. But if you're a big fan and you get to meet some of your heroes, your idols, to me that's invaluable. That's stuff you'll never forget, and it's worth the price of admission alone just for that.
And I will expand on that, because all of those things you said are perfect, because now we're engaging and talking about the NBA all year round.
Yes.
Not just after the season is over in regards to the draft. Now you carry it over into the summer and the Summer League, free agency, all of that. But for me also, being older, I get a chance to re-engage with coaches. We saw some of the older officials that are now leading the charge for the new breed of officials that when I competed, they were there. Players that are now coaching or in front office. And then I get a chance to also touch and feel a lot of these young players that I've covered in college, and now see them having the opportunity to carve out their own niche professionally. And John Butler is still going off. And then we're part of something like this.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Unexpected. We don't know. Well, so all of that together, bro, is why it's so special.
Well, it just goes back to what I was saying. This is a 19-year-old, 7'1", raw prospect who is having a breakout game in the final game of Summer League for his team. 9 for 9 from the floor with 25 points, 6 for 6 from 3. You never know that, and maybe 5 years from now, he turns into a big-time player, and you got to say, I was there to watch him break out.
More importantly, we can say we were there calling the game.
100%.
I mean, because we can, if it's projected that way, and we sit there, and that's the beauty of what you don't know.
Yeah.
We know the big names, okay? We know that probably they're going to have some success in the league long term or whatever it may be, injury-free, but it's the others that we're able to see the raw deal and be a part of early on.
Let's see if they can find Butler again. Sebron kicks it out instead to Stewart. Tough fadeaway was blocked, but a foul. Shackelford got a hand on it. John Butler showing up and showing out in a major way. Averages 6 points per game at Florida State last year as a freshman. 25 on the day today.
And no question.
NBA champ.
That was my era, so I'm on there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, you were definitely
I'm
on there.
Somewhere. The Dallas team.
I was about to say, you had the Jays. It was definitely, you could choose 2 of the 3.
Yep.
Did you play as yourself, though? I always
I've
wondered
never
this.
played.
You've never played NBA Jam?
I mean, I've never played. I played every night. But you understand, I'm a weirdo like that. Those basketball games, when they came out, I never played it.
Okay.
I would always play football. I
Okay.
never played the basketball game. Because I
In
hoop for a
life?
living. I hoop for a living.
But you were never curious about,
No.
why don't I go see how I
No.
am in this game?
Never.
Really?
Never.
That's
It
shocking.
didn't. It never interests me.
See-
I would love because it was something psychological about playing football, the sport I'd love.
Yeah, no doubt.
I didn't play. I would never play NBA Jam, any of the stuff. Video games.
It's probably why we all love to play sports games, is because we can't actually physically go and
Right.
do it like the pros, so we like to feel what it's like or whatever. I'm
Yep.
sure at least that's why I enjoy it. But at the same time, I feel like if I was in the game, right, if I was an actual person, I'd want to go, I'd want to play against my friends, and I want to trash
play
talk
you.
them.
You want to play you.
I would play with me, and I would trash talk them as me, and I would score all the points.
Yeah.
As me.
No.
No.
Never did it. Never
Maybe,
did it.
listen, the jam is right there on the concourse, so it could be
jam.
time to jam it up.
Yeah. I got a T-shirt too with some
you
stuff
got one
when
of
we were
those?
on the Jam. Yeah.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
I mean, that was that. Now, if you go back and look at it now, how archaic it looks, bro, compared to
sure.
the games right now.
No doubt.
I mean,
But it was still amazing.
at the time it was like
Amazing.
innovative. It was like just totally different.
Yeah. That's funny.
That I could be here, but yet be right there, and you can pick me in the stats, and you can go play.
That's funny.
How far we've come, brother.
Oh, we have come. We have come. Now we've got robot cars.
Bro, that's like having an 8-track tape.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. No one's got a Walkman anymore.
CD. What do you say when you drop a what? Is it an album still? Because
Well,
you don't.
it's either an album, mixtape.
Yeah, but you don't. But you really don't buy the album.
No, but you still drop an album.
I know, but I'm just saying. It's
I
just
hear you, man.
the
You just
physical,
download it.
The physical part.
I
needs to
missed
be-
that. I loved having my CDs. I was a CD guy though.
I loved having the album,
Getting like the full vinyl.
the full vinyl.
I still like getting the vinyls. I just don't have an actual vinyl player.
No, the sound of the. Put it on.
Do you
there.
have one?
I do at my mom's house.
Okay.
Yep. And, yeah, I still got it.
People still swear by it. They say
Oh no,
that
the
sound
music is
still,
different. That sound is totally different. Bro.
You actually buy that?
Yeah, totally different. It's real. It's raw. It's authentic. It's not manufactured.
I mean,
because
listen,
of
they
technology.
still make physical albums of all the
I
albums
know.
that get released.
I know.
Huh. Maybe I'll have to get a vinyl.
Yeah.
Maybe you're convincing me.
I'm telling you, change your life, brother.
So it's 103-69. Dave Freed has informed me that the largest margin of victory ever in Summer League, 50 points. The Miami Heat beat the LA Lakers 106-56 in 2012.
Okay.
So it would take a little bit to get there in the final minute and change, and looks unlikely. Meanwhile, John Butler 9 for 9. Best NBA perfect game this year, Rashad Holmes.
Right.
12 for 12 from the floor. So Butler not too far off from that. 25 points for him. That is a game high in 33 minutes. And a steal, Servetus. And the little look off, Krejci just peels
Krejci,
off.
get out the way.
I think Krejci was waiting for the whistle or saying taking the business decision.
Well, Servetus also was looking for a little contact too.
Yep.
I mean, so smart play.
Shackelford.
Don't want anybody getting hurt at the end of the game.
No,
You know?
no. Stewart corrals the rebound. Final 35 seconds of Summer League for these two teams. Wow! Take the elevator to the top floor. Elijah Stewart just went up another level.
Butler, don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Hold on.
No. Stay perfect, bro. Stay perfect.
But what if he's wide open?
No. The game is over. You don't need to shoot anyway. The game is over. You don't need to shoot. See? Nah, bro. Stay perfect.
5-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
Take the L and take the turnover.
Sebron.
It's not going to happen, though. This shot
Servetus with
going
3 to
up.
shoot.
I told you.
The lefty
I told you that shot
comes
was
up
going
short.
up.
Krejci with the rebound, and that will do it. Dominating performance from the New Orleans Pelicans, and John Butler leads the way with a perfect 9 for 9, 25 points. The Pelicans win it 107-71 to finish out their Vegas Summer League stay. This was just ridiculous stuff from the rookie out of Florida State.
Well, it started early, though. I mean, because he showed his range, that he could stretch the defense and hit it. And you know how it is in basketball. One shot goes in, it seems like you can throw anything in the ocean and excellent job of maintaining the spacing, but also look at the passes. Except for that one's a little low, everything was in the shooting pocket. So he was able just to catch and shoot and square it up, reading the defense, and his teammates did an excellent job of putting him in position to knock in those shots.
A great bounce back for Butler as well, who was 0 for 3 from downtown on Friday against the Lakers. Appreciate you joining us here in Cox Pavilion. No Eagle, Jim Jackson. We've got Ashley Shamady as well. This was exactly the type of performance that New Orleans was hoping to have to leave Vegas with what they did already. 2 wins, 2 losses coming in. Jaron Collins, a lot of credit to him for just rolling with the punches, given how many guys went down with injuries. Their top pick, Dyson Daniels, going out in the first quarter of the first game. And to finish this way has to feel good for an organization heading in the right direction.
Well, you always want to finish and end with the W.
Sure.
And how you get it done. The guys executed. They played great basketball together, team basketball. Defensively, they did the things that Coach Collins asked for, which was great. And you have a feeling since you accomplished something, and meaning that you started with a goal, you didn't get to the championship, but yet and still you're able to finish on a high. I mean, that's all you can really ask for.
John Butler, the star of this game, 0 questions asked, and he's with our Ashley Shamady right now.
All right, John, this is the way that you end Summer League. I just got to say, first off, I usually wear heels. You are 7 feet tall. That's amazing. But I got to say, 9 of 9 from the field, perfect from the 3. Were you aware of your perfect game from the field during the game, or did you just find out?
Just found out, in the middle of the game, we playing, looking for best opportunities for the team. I was open, so I shot it. So they just happened to go in. So
None of your teammates told you, hey, you haven't missed yet from the field?
Nah, nobody. I mean, I had a good idea. I was shooting from a good percentage, but, I didn't know I didn't miss, so.
That's impressive, to say the least. Now, like I said, you 7-1 listed on your stat sheet. Have you always kind of played more positionless basketball? Is that what you've always done since you were a kid?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Since high school, versatility is a big key to my game on the offensive and defensive end. So, I just try to be able to play as many spots as I can on the floor.
A nice, dominating performance to officially end 2022 Summer League. Do you feel like you left it all out on the court there?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it was a great team effort. Everybody's playing for each other. Everybody playing hard. Sometimes it's rare to have a team that's going to be moving the ball over each other and playing for each other, and I feel like we went there and executed that tonight.
John, congratulations. Congrats on the entire Summer League.
Thank you so much.
All right, Noah, Jim, back to you.
Great interview, and thank you. But that goes to show the difference between a guy that doesn't score a lot because he's not paying attention to a scorer that always knows what a shooting percentage is. Always.
Well, it doesn't matter if he's paying attention or not because he led the way with the 25 on 9 of 9 shooting. Our final score, the Pelicans win it 107-71 over the Oklahoma City Thunder. More Summer League action coming your way next on NBA TV and the ESPN app. We bring you the Nuggets and the Jazz from Cox Pavilion. Appreciate you for joining us here. Have a great night.